I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought...
Oh, what a fucking nightmare! Can I just say right now, like, could you imagine what would happen if that were me? Because I actually don't agree with the tactics used here at all. So everybody here most likely knows that I fucking hate Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is extremely disingenuous. He blatantly lies in most, if not all, of his segments. Trying not to be too hyperbolic there, but it's true. He has lied repeatedly. We're going to be looking at a different clip in a little while also, where we're going to be kind of dissecting more of the crap that he says that's just factually incorrect. But first, we're going to start with this, and that is what everybody's talking about, the Steven Crowder versus Sam Seder debate. So what exactly happened? What's the deal with this? So first and foremost, Sam Seder is like I believe he's a leftist. Chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he's like a leftist liberal podcaster. He runs the show, The Majority Report. They have over 1 million subscribers. And I've never watched Sam Seder. I haven't watched like any of his content. But it's my understanding that he's a pretty competent debater. It's kind of suspected that Sam Seder would really give Steven Crowder a challenge. What basically happened was there were two different times that Sam Seder and Steven Crowder were supposed to debate, once at Politicon and once on Gavin McInnes's show, and both times Steven Crowder kind of just dipped out. So that led to Sam Seder challenging Crowder to a debate, and this was a couple years ago. Steven Crowder agreed to debate H3H3, but instead of it being H3H3, Sam Seder was there waiting for our boy Cold Feet Crowder. Now we're going to get into this in a minute, because I actually don't agree with the tactics used here at all. Let's just start with what actually happened, though, okay? Steven Crowder did not handle this well either. I mean, oh God, he came off real nervous.
The initial quote that kind of was turned into a little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe, and we said.
So they were there. Crowder was there originally to talk to Ethan about something he said regarding, yeah, the CDC.
Steven, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Seder! What a fucking nightmare! I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought.
Oh man! So that, of course, that's getting quoted everywhere. Steven Crowder going, "Oh, what a fucking nightmare!" Can I just say right now, like, could you imagine what would happen if that were me? Could you imagine if anybody fucking like jumped me on a debate or something, and my response was, "Oh my God! Oh fuck! No, what a fucking nightmare!" I would be clipped into fucking oblivion, okay?
I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, I told Dave, remember I told you? I said, I guarantee you he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Oh, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with, mental health issues. Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own fighting.
I gotta say,
it's just hilarious. Let's bring on FM.
Crowder he just sounds nervous, like he just won't stop talking.
You would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point that you made
at
the beginning of
Joe
this
Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro and Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoiding.
And not just attempting to get your audience by jumping in.
Well,
Why aren't they showing Crowder?
Charlie Kirk. Steven, I mean, it's about issues. Let's talk about those issues.
That's what you're doing here.
Valid points.
You're so clever. I had no idea that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today with your pig pen peanuts eyes.
Oh shit! Oh, he just straight up admitted to watching the show. Okay, remember that little detail, okay? Because that's going to come back here in a second.
Well, you must have been
Black
very
eyes,
worried about
aren't
this,
they? Like
Stephen. I don't know why.
No
It would
one's
be-
worried
Oh, come
about
on,
it.
so
Say, I
concerned.
didn't want to
Well,
do
let's have the
Sam,
debate.
come
If
on.
no
I'll
one's
tell you
worried,
what. I
let's
have a
do
general. I have a general.
This is a
rule.
great
I
opportunity.
don't start a debate
to-
based with people on a lie. And how
Or
about you get to a,
sabotaging.
how about you get to
Stephen,
a
show
30th
yourself,
of the
you
audience
coward.
share?
Stephen, show yourself.
30th
Don't show
of the
your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan, you should show
Stephen,
yourself.
excuse
Steve-
Steven just, I think he's one of those people that just keeps on talking when he gets nervous. Not showing it on the Zoom call makes it sound worse too, because you can't see his facial expressions. Some of this is pretty hypocritical, right? Because Steven Crowder only talks here for another very short time before dipping. Steven Crowder does paint himself often as this sort of debate guy, right? He's doing the whole change my mind. He's talked about how difficult it is to get leftists and liberals on his show. They're all just too afraid or whatever. Like, he kind of plays this up to his audience by revealing that there are, in fact, liberals or leftists that Steven Crowder doesn't want to debate, and that Steven Crowder is noticeably uncomfortable around. It kind of defeats that little grift bubble that Crowder's trying to play up for his audience. So I think that there is some value there. Steven Crowder can be a massive hypocrite, right? And this can also be kind of unethical, more or less. I believe this is from, because Steven Crowder did a response. It looks like Ethan reached out at one point or another to Steven also. Or couldn't this just be a response? I don't know. Some of this seems a little bit dishonestly clipped. All I'm really getting at, though, is that Steven Crowder was more or less under the impression that he was going to be debating Sam Seder. So by having this ambush, although it is funny, it gives the right wing a lot of ammunition at the same time. Because they're going to have such an easy defense now. Which is, why the fuck should Steven Crowder debate somebody who he didn't agree to debate, he wasn't prepared to debate, and then they just, like, jumped him with some other guy, even though he was supposed to be having a debate with Ethan. Like, it gives them a pretty easy defense to just kind of write it off. I just know that, personally, I wouldn't like this to be done to me. And I also know that if it was done to me or anyone that you guys like watching or enjoy, I have a feeling that you would be making that same defense. But hey, Crowder was confronted and it was fun to watch. And let's also not forget that Crowder's done this shit too. Remember in 2017, he showed up dressed up as Cenk Uygur, crashed his panel thing. It was a little different because it was a public audience. Anyone could show up. But like, he went up on stage. It poses a really interesting question for me, which is when, if ever, is like deceptive behavior appropriate? It's funny. I don't think it should happen often.
Faced with people on a lie. And how
Or
about you get
sabotaging.
How about you get
Stephen,
to
show yourself, you coward. Stephen, show yourself.
30th
Don't show
of the
your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan,
It
you
also is, let's be honest, ironic for H3H3 to be calling Crowder a coward because H3H3 agreed to a debate and then didn't actually debate or plan on it.
should show
Stephen,
yourself.
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Stephen,
so
Stephen,
strongly
you are
that you're
such
not
a
willing to
coward. Stop
debate.
showing your little
I
leprechaun
thought you would
co-host who
welcome
comes
that.
out dressed like your
Come on,
sidekick.
Ethan, why do you have to bring on a
Show
guy who has
Steven.
a 30th of the
really
viewership?
Why are
of
you-
this
Saddest
show?
thing I've ever heard. So you
Come
have
on, that is so pathetic. Did you just hear what Crowder said? That Sam Seder has a 30th of the viewership. Come on. Crowder debates these little pussified college kids all the time. These irrelevant people. Oh, and then all of a sudden, you don't have enough followers for my attention.
less viewers to come on to debate him because you can't.
Well, obviously,
don't
if
you
I'm
get
a,
so-
Apparently he
if,
had to think
obviously
about
I'm
it,
a,
bro.
if I'm a layup
Yeah,
and
you
not a
had to think
debater.
about it.
Well, look,
Yeah,
you're the
I
one
mean,
who called. You're the one who got
debate.
Thank you, Xavier Watts, for the $2. Why don't you debate him, Hunter? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I don't have Steven Crowder's contact information. Dude, I love it. I love when people just assume that I, like, just being a YouTuber gives me the all-access contact book.
Steven's the one that got angry about
Show
it.
Steven. Don't be
Hold on a
such a
second. All right,
coward.
hold on a second. Let me hear what Pigpen has to say here really quick.
Fair enough.
Show
But
Steven.
Ethan, look, I don't. Hold on a second, Ethan. This is because initially
Thank
I came
you.
on here to talk with Ethan. Ethan, come on, man. Look, the same reason that I haven't ever had a conversation with Sam Cedars, the same reason that Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Brett Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro don't own anything. It's based on a lie, Ethan. Just
What's
like
the
you
lie?
claiming my Ethan.
What's the
You
lie?
claiming my
What's the
booker
lie,
reached
Steven?
out to you, Ethan, when you
Steven,
know that's
what's the
not
lie?
true. There's no
What's
one
the
ducking
lie?
you,
Why
Sam.
He said the booker reached out to him, but then there was something with that too. Ethan talked about the fact that there was actually a booker that had reached out to him at one point or something like that, or that worked with Crowder.
Out to you, Ethan, when you know
Steven,
that's
what's the
not
He
lie?
wasn't. He just wasn't being completely honest there.
There's no
What's
one
the
ducking
lie?
you,
Why
Sam.
are you
I've
so
never
afraid?
Sam,
Yeah,
Sam,
listen,
Sam,
I
Sam,
think
Sam,
you're a
Sam.
smart
I can
guy.
call out Mike
I don't
Tyson.
understand why
It doesn't mean that I'm
you are
ducking
so
him.
worried about this.
Why do you
I
feel that?
honestly
Why do you
don't.
feel that anyone, Sam? Why do you feel that anyone owes you airtime when you have a 40th of the audience and you've been doing the
I
show?
don't think anybody
for
has
10
the
times as long?
That is
airtime.
such a
I think,
cheap
I
shot.
think that Ethan has just given it to me. I didn't
Right.
ask him for it, and
Right.
so
No, you've been begging
the
for
real
it for a long
question
time
is,
with everyone
Steven,
bigger than
why
yourself.
Are you so
Yeah, he found
worried
He
about
can't build an
engaging with me?
audience, and so what
Why
happens is
are
he
you
uploads
so
15
worried about-
times more,
Do you think
has
your
less than a
audience
50th of the
says-
audience.
Well, that's
Do
why
you
he
think
wants to
that your
debate you.
This is so weird. Listen, this is like, oh god, there are so many optics rules being broken right now. No, but seriously, like there are actually unironically a ton of fucking just there. First, they deceptively got him on there. And next, they're throwing around that your channel doesn't have as many views as mine. Huh? Bruh. How do you say he's irrelevant, but then you also seem to know a good deal about this dude?
So he can build his.
Sam,
Do you
Sam,
think
come on.
your audience
Yeah,
cares
yeah.
that I only have 1 million subscribers and you have what, 6 or 7 million
I think.
subscribers?
Let me answer. Can I
don't
answer your
think
question?
they
Can I
do.
answer your question? Can I answer? Your...
Yeah, that's another thing too, is Sam Cedar has over 1 million subscribers. It's not like he's some dude with like 20K.
Let me answer. Can I
don't
answer your
think
question?
they
Can I
do.
answer your question? Can I answer your question? Do you want me to answer your question? My audience would say Sam who? Just like Joe Rogan's audience and Ben
Well, now
Shapiro's
they
and
all
Dave
know
Rubin.
who
This
I
is
am.
like
now they all
this is like catty teenage girl shit. Well, I'm the popular one. Has he been taking notes from like Blair White or something?
know who you
introduce
are
me.
because you had to
Your
shoehorn
audience
yourself into
watches
another coward
yourself
show.
into
College
another
students,
show.
every day that you do that,
Why are
change
we-
my
Hold on
mind.
a second. Hold on
they
a second.
don't know who those college
This is another
students
lie.
are.
This is another lie.
What possible
Let
difference
me
would it be?
clarify, Sam. Let me clarify, Sam. The change my mind. Everyone knows on the show, right?
Yes.
We've had
How did
professors
you know
on the.
I ended
This is
my
what-
show
okay, he's not
early
gonna talk.
last week, Stephen? If your audience
Because
doesn't even
you're
know
an
me,
idiot,
how
and
did you
half of
know
your
that?
staff
Do
doesn't
you watch
like
my
you.
show?
Because I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, it's because.
Crowder, oof, the roasts, they're just not landing right now. They're just not really. I don't know. It doesn't. You're coming off looking really uncomfortable, throwing everything you possibly can at the wall, in a sad attempt that one of them will get a laugh from a drunk boomer that watches your content religiously.
Idiots,
How
and
did you
half
know
of your
that?
staff
Do
doesn't
you watch
like
my
you.
show?
Because I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, it's because he's a diehard
Well,
fan.
Your
if you're
staff
a
doesn't
diehard
like you.
fan,
But I just
why-
met you.
Why not
Congratulations,
have me
Sam Cedars fan.
and Stephen
I'm just
have
a
a
huge
conversation?
fan.
I will
like-
talk
right now,
about
every
the
time I
issues
try and
that
talk,
you
you're
want to
interrupting,
talk
Sam.
about, Stephen.
Yeah, any-
Right
Anytime
now,
he
I'm
brings
trying to
anything-
talk with you. You're
You
interrupting, Sam.
bombarded the show.
Okay, go ahead.
You bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claimed
Bombarded?
just like you claimed that I ducked the debate.
See, right there, that's gonna give the conservatives the upper hand almost, because it was Crowder that was jumped on false pretense or whatever.
You bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claimed
Bombarded?
just like you claimed that I ducked the debate with you under a false pretense. Have I ever?
That is what the Politicon people told me. I
Oh, is
played
that what they
the
told you?
audio
Well,
of
so
it.
you're just lazy
Yeah.
with your research?
And if
No,
big tech
what
is,
You
research
continue
do
with the
I need?
lie.
They
You need
said
to
were
research and say,
booked.
did Steven ever accept?
They said you were
Let me
booked.
explain to you. Let me explain
They
to you.
said
Let me
you were
explain.
booked,
Hey,
and that you
whoa,
dropped
Sam,
out and you literally had
Sam,
cold
sweetheart,
feet.
Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find.
So that cold feet thing is, I think that's what they're talking about. The booker that they reached out to that did schedule it, but now isn't his dad his booker?
Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find any footage about online. Let
I'm
me
not
finish.
a stand-up comic.
Oh, you're not? Okay, that makes sense because everything that I've seen is incredibly unfunny and unentertaining,
Well,
which may
I'm
explain
not
the
a
audience.
stand-up
Ironic.
What does that
Irony alert,
mean?
Stephen.
How
Comedian.
much have you watched of my stuff,
The
Stephen, that
irony
you
of-
think
Sam,
that your
can I
audience
answer your
wouldn't
question?
appreciate our discussing things?
Samuel, can I answer your question?
Yes.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with
You're wrong, Hunter. Crowder's lying. He did duck the debate. Did Crowder ever actually confirm that he was going to debate, or had he been confirmed to go to Politicon? I would like clarity if anybody wants to give it to me. His dad is his scheduler. Well, hit up his dad and ask for a real play date. All right, these surprise parties, Crowder doesn't like them.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with other comics. Everyone has a bigger audience than you because you said, I want to speak with Steven Crowder. You believe that at some point there was some acceptance? When have I ever done a Politicon? Ever? When have as a matter of fact, in the last decade, I haven't done a single political conference.
How
I
can
hosted
you
CPAC
say-
for 4 years and stopped because they suck.
How can
They
you
don't
say-
pay
okay.
and they're full of losers.
What about Gavin
and you've been
McInnes's
clamoring
show?
for it, and
Gavin
it's a
told me
lie.
that you dropped out of doing
How
his
can you
show
say
because
that
This is
I
just
was going
hearsay.
This is like blood sports right here. Oh, man. This is pretty fucking entertaining. I'm here for the ride right now.
And it's a
Gavin told
lie.
me that you dropped out of doing
How
his
can you
show
say
because
that
This
I
is just
was going
hearsay
to go.
and gossip.
But how can
I
he
have-
say
I've never
you
met more of a
follow your
woman.
career when he wants
Well, I
to
don't
keep
even
debating?
think-
Come on, dude. I'm sorry. Other than like the initial meeting being under like deceptive pretense, which kind of gives Crowder a little bit of a way out of this one. His attempts at comebacks have just been abysmal. This is just hearsay. I've never met such a woman. Oh man. Listen. I'm not anywhere near as popular as Steven Crowder, but I know that if I tried to use roasts like this, and if I acted this way, if I was ever like ambushed in a debate, then I would be getting made fun of for it.
I've never met more of a
Your
woman.
career when he wants
Well,
to
I don't
keep
even need to-
debating.
I don't
need to
know.
talk
It's
about any of
bizarre.
this.
Then.
All right,
Let's talk
okay.
about the issue.
So
the
Ethan, do you want to have a
CDC.
conversation, Ethan?
Let's talk
about the
about big
vaccine
tech.
because you
Ethan,
were
do you want to have a
Absolutely, I do.
conversation? You're going to hide.
You felt
Absolutely,
so
I do.
strongly
Or
about-
big tech.
So why are you hiding behind Sam Cedar?
Oh no,
Have a
me and Sam are
conversation
aligned. I'm not
with
hiding.
him.
He just
Well, you're just a
he knows the
liar.
issue.
So you're a
Ethan,
liar.
because remember we
You
said,
brought
hold on
in
a second,
somebody
hold on a
else to
second.
debate.
I mean, it
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah.
feels like
It's
you guys are the ones
ridiculous.
who are hiding.
Really?
Ethan is
No,
being
no, no. This is
completely
actually
open about it.
Who snuck in on you?
who's the guy who
Ethan's
never
being
appears
completely
on
open
stage,
about it.
never does a live show,
But it's a
never
comic.
even never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his
What does
program.
this
This
have
is
to do with anything? Dude, what does this have to do with anything?
never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his program. It's just hiding.
Right.
Everything we do is out in the open. H3.
Steven,
you know
you're wearing a
that we
holster.
agreed.
So what?
Hold on a second. Yeah? So? I want to normalize responsible gun ownership. Is that your debate? No wonder you had to bring in a hack for you.
wanna
Well,
call
no,
it
you're talking
cock-
about
Right now,
comedy.
well, that's
I
what
mean,
you
Debate
do,
strategy,
Steven.
That's
write
not
it
very
for you.
funny.
You're a holster, bro.
Also, your
You're a
sponsors-
holster.
I like how Ethan is just like sitting over there, just looks kind of like baked. He's just like, that's not really that funny when you said that, Crowder.
Wait,
Gay
wait,
boy
all right,
love.
okay.
All of it.
All right, Sam, you got it. You got it. I hope you have
He almost said you
Hey,
win.
Steven,
Wonderful
if-
highlight reel.
Hold on, hold on,
Hope you
hold on,
enjoy
hold on,
Politicon.
hold on. Hold on, hold on. Let me just make one point.
Hope you enjoy Politicon.
Hold on,
Ethan.
let
We'll
me make
release the
one
private
point,
messages.
Steven.
Take it easy.
Steven,
All right,
don't
thanks,
bail.
guys.
You don't
I
wanna
appreciate
have
it.
Don't
it.
bail, you
Adorable.
coward.
Hey, Sam, one thing before I go. One thing before I
If
go.
it's
Can you
about
take off your
issues,
glasses?
Steven,
Hold
why
on.
One thing
not?
before I go.
I
Can you
just
take
wanna
off your
see-
glasses?
we just wanna see if
I
there's
just want to
buttons.
see if you take them off. If you have the Velveteen rabbit buttons. That's the only thing I'm curious
What
about. It's the only interesting part about it.
Steven,
Or if there's a
Can someone help me understand this roast? Because I thought it had something to do with like the Velveteen rabbit or something. I think it's like a boomer joke. And Sam Cedar's expression here just sums it up perfectly. He's just like, what the fuck is clam chowder on about? I'm going to look it up. We're going to find out together. Oh, was it a Coraline thing? Was it something with a Velveteen rabbit though? Admittedly, I'm not very read up on my boomer. Oh wait, there's an actual Reddit thread on this. He means that he's soulless like Velveteen the toy. It's a classic children book. The joke is just dumb. Okay, yeah, so it was something with Velveteen. Okay. What a weak roast. He's like, I have the final roast card ready for this one. An obscure children's book reference. He'll never see it coming.
The soul.
Let's
Just
debate.
take off the glasses.
Let's debate, Stephen.
don't hide behind the
Don't
glasses.
be a coward.
Don't say let's
will-
debate, Ethan. You've
I
lost
will-
that.
Coward.
Don't even
Coward.
argue the bullshit.
All right.
Debate
This
the
is sad.
issues. What
This
does
is
it matter
sad.
who you
Shut
debate,
up.
coward?
All right, good. You guys are
Wow.
good. Thank you.
Coward.
He's like, cut,
Don't even
get
take
it.
off the glasses.
I was right.
All right, yeah,
We
you
knew
can
you
run
run
away.
away.
This
You
is
run away twice. Cold feet again.
Come on, Stephen.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. Dude.
They both just looked horrendous here. But more so Crowder, because he looked really, really scared. I literally dare you to watch Crowder's version. Okay, let's do it. Let's see what Steven says.
At
Dislike.
him for the last month.
Well, and this is the thing too, is we don't do debates based on a lie. Like I can call out Mike Tyson, I can call out Evander. It doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
And so when someone says, "Hey, you said you would do this," and you just admitted that, of course, there's no proof for that. Well, I heard this from so and so. Yeah, but there's no evidence. We can bring up here the direct messages with. I hate to do this, but with Ethan, it was, "Hey, we'll talk, you and I, man to man. No one else will come in."
Okay, so first and foremost, Quartering lied. Again, don't trust anything that piece of shit posts. Because he dishonestly said that this was also Ethan. Nope, it was not Ethan that agreed to that. Okay. Hey, Steven, I'm down to debate.
If I have my phone, I can take a picture right here. So there's no prompter. It's just
No.
him on a call, and he's terrified. I don't know how someone like that can live their life as a man.
Well,
Okay, that's, again, he should just stop with the roasts. The fact that he calls himself comedian, too, is pretty bad. He's not funny, and those are not good roasts. Just stop. You sound like a fucking, middle school playground bully. So he shows this. Is this an email from? Hear from Louder with Crowder. We are thinking next Monday. I'm central. I would ask that you stick to the details that Ethan agreed to in the Twitter DM. We never play gotcha with these things and would expect the same. Excellent. We will speak then. Crowder also sounds a little scared in that email, if we're being fair, but
he just also talked very cordially to you about family.
Oh, yeah.
But what I really hate about that is then he immediately pulled it, which shows no character, no class, a complete manipulation.
Well,
But here's the
he has a show that's dwindling. No one cares about it.
But
And so then he wants the drama, and I actually want to have a conversation. But I'm not going to have a conversation. Here's my cutoff. A general, serious.
this is what I meant, right? With the deceptive nature of it is definitely, now, like I said, to everybody watching, me included, I enjoyed watching Crowder be made to squirm and made to feel uncomfortable and get a little taste of his own medicine. That felt good. To his audience, Crowder's going to be the one that comes up on top, for sure. Already, the way that he's phrasing this and framing it, Crowder's going to come up on top here to his audience 100%. Yeah, I mean, maybe some more will come out. Guys, chat, let me know if I'm missing any other details here. But it does look like Ethan was the one that agreed to it. And I do believe that it's pretty deceptive to do that. It's nice to see Crowder be made fun of. Crowder is a hypocrite. But Crowder being a hypocrite and this being deceptive and sleazy are not mutually exclusive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified when I drop a new video.